Hey internet friends, welcome back. Wow, today we have a lot to discuss. So without making this video 100 years long, I want to get straight to the point. First, like, share, and subscribe to this video so you can stay updated with new notifications. Second, today there's a million different voice messages from Janie McKenzie floating around the internet. I told you that I had her timeline, and I am posting it here in her words, her perspective of what happened. Also, there's a new update of the pink blanket from the RCMP. I am uploading that here for you to see, and as well as a video message from Janie. Stay tuned and let's get started.
Around 12 o'clock to go to Patty's to do laundry. They didn't get home till 10 o'clock. The reason I know is my dog barked and let me know. I opened up my door. I said to Daniel, I said, "You're getting home kind of late, aren't you?" He said, "I would have been home a lot earlier." Thursday morning, they didn't go to school. I heard they went to town. I don't know where they went. I don't know what they bought. Nothing. And then I come out of the train. I heard the kids outside, and I opened up the door. Jack and Lily were right out here by the playhouse. If you look at the Google map, between the playhouse and the woodshed where the swings are, they were out there looking for worms and centipedes. Because when I opened up the door, Jack said, "Look, I found a worm. I found a centipede." I said, "Good boy." I said, "You keep looking." Then I went out. I started raking up the yard here for a leveling it out for a swimming pool for the kids, because I was going to put one up this year. Waiting for Daniel to help me build the fence because he had to go look for his tools. Then after that, when Daniel came and helped me with put the 2x4s up, or the boards up on the fence, I continued with the fence. Then I came back in to get something to eat. I don't know what time the kids went inside or what time they went to bed or anything. And then Friday morning, I get up at 6 o'clock. I sat here and I played on Facebook. I sent a thing to my brother at 6:24, and at 7 o'clock, I went out and I did up the chickens, and I came back in. I sat here. I played on Team which is the worst thing you can get addicted to. And then my brother called me at 8:48. Talked for 2 minutes and 59 seconds. He asked me if I was going to town. I said no. I said I'm staying home. I'm going back to bed to have a sleep. I went back to bed. It wasn't long after that. I can't tell you how long. I laid there for a little while playing on Facebook. I dozed off. I heard the dog bark. The kids were outside. I heard the kids. And then after that, I didn't hear nothing. Everything just went completely silent. And I don't know how long after that. I heard Daniel yelling for the kids. I figured he was yelling at the kids to get inside, or Jack was letting my chickens out, which he usually does. He let them out a few times. So I figured Daniel was getting mad at him for that. See Malaya at the end of the driveway. Malaya was seen in front of my RV when I opened the door about 5 or 10 minutes after Daniel was hollering for the kids. I opened the door and Malaya was standing in front of my RV, and I asked her what was up. She said the kids are missing. I said how long? She said 20 minutes. Okay, I already answered this question. My brother called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town. I said no, I was going back to bed. So I laid back down. I was playing on Facebook. I dozed off. I'm not sure what exactly time. I didn't look at the clock. My dog woke me up. I heard the kids outside. And then I dozed back off again, and the next thing you know, I heard Daniel hollering Jack and Lily's name. Then about maybe 5-10 minutes after I heard him, I'm not sure exact what time because I didn't look at the clock. And when I opened the door, Malaya was standing there in front of the RV, and I said, "What's up?" And she said, "The kids are missing. The kids, Lily and Jack, are gone." And I said, "How long?" She said, "About 20 minutes. I don't know what time I seen Malaya outside because I didn't look at the clock. I came in, I grabbed my boots, and headed up to the woods. So I gave you guys a timeline. 8:48 is when he called me. I dozed off. I don't know exactly what time I heard the kids. And according to what, if I read it correctly in the chat between Belinda and Malaya, she said that she called the 911 at about 9:40. So that's what I believe it says. You'd have to check out the conversation between Malaya and Belinda. I'm talking about the discussion between Malaya and Belinda, not the discussion between Malaya and Cindy. Malaya was supposed to tell Belinda, according to her screenshot, that she called 911 at 9:40.
Okay, so this next part is the new information regarding the pink blanket. RCMP came out today and said it in a Wednesday update about Jack and Lily Sullivan. They are conducting a forensic examination on the materials found on the ground and air searches, including the pink blanket the officer sees on Lansdowne Road. If you remember what the dispatch was talking about, which I'm going to attach here after this clip so you can listen to the dispatch, they found the pink blanket and torn clothing.
Sergeant Young from Tenapple. Command post copy. Sergeant Young from Gingham. Go ahead. Families brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a piece of a blanket which the mother says she believes it belongs to her daughter. It's just off the road here. I don't know if you do PU status, you'll see where Bravo 3 and Bravo 8 are. Yeah, it'll be just off the Lansdowne Road, off the 289. Did we say we found an article? Possibly. There's a couple other pieces of old clothing here. Pieces just torn, like pieces of rag, but there is a side of the road. RCMP helicopter there. Do you see the F-250 there, the truck and the SUV? Pretty much directly in front of you, sir? That's blanket. Yeah, 10-4, we're coming up to it there. Just debate whether we leave it for us for TS. 5 kilo 2. 23 here.
1 at 10-6 hour?
Yeah, I'll just keep you guys safe until I tell you I'm not, I guess.
Sure. I'll start you off with 7 p.m. there. We can go from there.
Just make sure Mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak out and get back into the house.
Is that time when I seen them all laughing and carrying on was to tell Malaya that Justin and I were going back out to look for the kids. And she said, do you want me to shut the chickens in? That's the only time that I set foot in that trailer all day. Except for when everybody left and the police officers came and asked Daniel about the pink blanket. I was there when they went out to the garbage can and took the pink blanket out of the garbage. Other than that, after that was over, nobody else was around. Everybody left. And I just sat in the trailer, and some of my friends came and asked me how I was.
Okay, guys, so now that you've heard the timeline and Janie's perspective and the pink blanket from dispatch, the RCMP update today, and Janie's perspective, what do you think? Please comment below. Like I said, I like hearing from your comments. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to get more updates. Thank you for watching.